Sony for 2022, it's my first Sony of the year. It's the X85K 50-inch. Check the description for timestamps of what I'll be doing, key moments and so on, especially the dimensions. It looks like it's got the 2 feet on, so obviously that could be important. That is the feet out, remote control instruction book pack. Ooh, separate small smart remote this year with the Sony. Pull out the sides first. That is the front. It's got polythene and cardboard to protect the screen. TV from the front. There's a bit of a fat one there. That's the side view, quite nice and thick. And that is the TV from the back. Onto the remote control and accessories pack with instruction book. Quick setup guide at the top of it. I'll get a close up of that in a moment. There's cable tidy guides there for the back of the feet. These go into the VESA mount holes on the back, and they're for the wall mount bolts. They'll adapt the thread to an M6 thread. The instruction book pack with 2 sets of AAA batteries, one for the standard remote and 1 pair for the smart remote. So kind of like Samsung do, they've given us a separate smart remote as well as the standard remote, so we'll get a close-up of those as well in a moment. Figure 8 mains lead, right angled input into the TV and UK plug. Onto the new smart remote for Sony for 2022. Power on and off at the top, TV button, so I guess that takes you back to TV from other inputs you may be on. Shortcut to the settings, LED indicator there, and I can see a microphone hole for voice commands. Source or input button, that will take you to the channel numbers. Cursor arrows left, right, up, down and enter, and then back button. Home button to take you to the home menu. Voice command button to activate the microphone. Volume up and down, channels up and down. Mute button, play and pause. If it's like the Samsung, you can use that for fast forward and rewind if you're using the play and pause buttons. Onto the menus there, or guide. Then we've got quick fire, YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus and Prime Video. Flip it over and I'm guessing that pushes down and off. AAA batteries into the back. Also comes with a nice and simple standard remote, especially for your nan. So power on and off at the top right there. TV, back to TV, info button. Got subtitles and audio, I'm guessing audio description as well. Exit button, channel numbers, text button, coloured buttons for what they refer to depending on apps and media playback, source or input button, settings button, back button, home button, volume up and down, channels up and down. That will toggle between the last 2 channels you're on. Mute button, help button, take you to help there, guide button, play, pause, rewind, fast forward and stop. Quick look at the quick setup guide. Starting at number 1, you can see there listed the included accessories and taking the poly out the top of the box. Instructing us there, don't put any pressure on the screen, it will break, they're quite delicate. 2 of you to take it out and lay it down on a large flat surface. Inserting those feet into the back of the TV, and again 2 of you to take it off, put it on its stand. See there, putting in your power. Also inputs on the back of the TV, what can be plugged in and where. Those cable guides there as well to guide the cables down the back of the feet. Putting batteries in the remote control. Turning it on. Using the question mark button or the home if you're stuck, I guess. Quick look at the supplied feet before we fit them. That's the 2 supplied metal feet with the TV. Small portions of rubber on the bottom there to stop it slipping around and marking the surface they're stood on. They are marked SB1 an SB2 on the bottom, which should correspond to the bottom of the TV. We'll get the TV laid flat down and we'll get those fitted. Okay, TV is now laid on a large flat surface. Before I drop the camera down, I'll just point out the mains input is that side. These holes obviously and other connections that side were marked 1 and 2 for each of those pedestal feet. Quite nice and simple. Marked 2 there on the back and SB2 there, so that foot into that slot just pushes in with a bit of pressure and it should click. There we go, same for that side. Yeah. Onto the dimensions for this X85. It is a 50-inch model. Most important to a lot of people will be the width of these feet. At its widest part, 66¼ centimeters, just over or 26 1/8 of an inch. The depth for those feet from the back to the front, 28½ centimeters or 11¼ inches. Whatever it stood on to the bottom of the TV, 6½ centimeters, just over 2½ inches. To the top of the TV, 71½ centimeters or 28 1/8 of an inch. Width wise, again, it is the 50-inch model, 112 centimeters or 44 inches. Thickness wise, at its thickest point, it is 70 millimeters, so quite a thick one. Looking at it from the back, obviously we take these screws out and screw in that wall mount anchor pack that comes in the included accessories. It then gives you M6 screw threads, 200mm square, nice and sensible. Yeah. From the bottom of the TV to the centre of that first VESA mount hole, it's 145 millimeters. No screen protector on this one, just a few bits of gumph. I'll just pick those off quickly. There we go. Okay. Got it wired up with mains, internet and aerial. So I'll get the lights turned off and get it switched on and on. UK and the UK again. So you've got the message here, set up Google TV. If it was me at home, I'd sign into my Google account, set all that up. Gives you access then to the App Store. I'm just going to say set up basic TV for now in store. And it detected my wired internet using Ethernet. Google, hi there. Okay. So we can use our location and send diagnostic data. I'm just going to go for the location if it's in my interest. Start. Privacy policy. Scroll down. So I'll go for the TV and program recommendations. Agree. Parental lock, you have to have a pin. You can't have 4 zeros, but you can have 4 ones. There you go. Power saving, I'm turning off. That will adjust the brightness automatically. I mean, I don't mind automatic brightness adjustment if it's for ambient lighting in the room, but I don't want it necessarily for power saving. In store, I'm going to turn that off anyway and for the demo. So ways you receive channel, I might add a Sky Q box to it, but first of all and for now, I'm just going to do digital aerial. And next. Okay, so I'll come back in a minute when that's finished tuning. Okay, tuning is now finished, so asking the region select for where my aerial is facing, it is Yorkshire and Leeds. So scan completed. I have actually got a Sky Q box connected as well. I'm not going to go through the setup there because I don't want to do the remote control setups, control Sky Q. You do have the option there, you can use your Sony remote to control your Skybox. Not interested. If I'm going to use my Skybox, I'm going to use the dedicated Sky remote with it, so I'm just going to say next. And that is it. So there it comes up, it's detected HDMI 1 Sky Q, not configured. I'm not going to either, so I'll just say next because I can select it manually. Right, for sound, it's asking how the TV is positioned. It is on a tabletop stand, so it should optimise the sound to that setting. Acoustic calibration, so it's going to send test tones out to the remote and measure them in the room. So we're saying next and allow, start. Calibration complete. So I'm not going to register. Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. I don't have Apple products myself, but if you do, you can go through that setup. Samba Interactive TV. I don't use it, so disabling, yes. Accessibility features if necessary. Set up for retail there or complete. I'm just going to say complete. Now I'm going to go straight to my Sky Q box on HDMI 1.
23rd Grand Slam after reaching the semi-finals of Wimbledon for the 8th time. The second seed beat the American Taylor Fritz in 5 sets.
I'm just going to shut up and turn the sound up so we can hear the sound and have a normal TV demo.
The great man suddenly looked vulnerable. Rafael Nadal struggled with an abdominal problem that required medical attention, and he was required to go to a 5th set. Nadal's at the top of the screen, breaking Taylor Fritz's serve. Only for the American, seeded 11, to break back.
200 miles from Westminster, Whaley Bridge feels far removed. But you don't have to look too far for ominous symbolism or for signs which could represent how locals are feeling. At the end of Johnson Street sits the builders' merchants, where they say they put a price on honesty.
It'd be a lot cheaper than what we did yesterday, but I'll find out and I'll confirm the price to you.
And where views are changing.
I felt sorry for him in a way, because he's had a lot of pressure, what with COVID, and then we're coming into the Ukraine war, which he's trying to sort that out.
Okay, so I'm not going to put it onto retail mode because I'd have to upload some demos onto the TV using a USB stick. I haven't got any for 2022 yet. I've got some from my YouTube channel, so I'll launch one of the Sony demos from there. home screen here. We've got TV at the top, program guide, inputs and the dashboard. Go to the dashboard, I can go to my settings, picture, inputs. We have got an ambient mode built in. Sign into your Google account to use that. If you go to the settings, it'll open up the full settings for whatever we want. Obviously setting up my Google TV, channels input, display and sound, network, etc., or the system down there. Back to the home. Pre-installed apps we've got is Netflix, Prime, iPlayer, ITV, All4, My5, Live TV and Catch Up, YouTube, Disney Plus, BBC Sounds, Sony bonus offers, recorded title list. So if we're recording to the TV using an external hard drive, we can access our recordings there. Notifications, timers and clocks. We can set sleep timers and whatever else there as well. Media player, whether it's USB or NAS drive playback, music, help, Kalman for Bravia, TV control with smart speakers, integrate them with your smart speakers, basic internet browser there, so do some basic internet browsing. Obviously sign into your Google account to access more apps. One helpful feature, somebody said look at the guide, so if you go onto one of the guides you can do the settings for the Youview. So you go onto your Youview guide there, and we've got the full day of listings. Anything with that play symbol on, such as that, we can access and watch again. So if I wanted Politics Live at 11 o'clock this morning, I could click on that, it will reload and show me the whole programme. So it's a nice easy way to navigate and get your on-demand features there. You can see the things that do have the on-demand there, so all of those I can go and watch at my own will, as and when I want. Now, all in all, it's quite a good TV. Well, very good picture-wise. You can see a bit of backlight bleed, but it is an LCD panel. Quite thick as well, 17mm, so it's going to stand off the wall quite a bit if you do wall mount it. Sound-wise is good though, but I guess that comes as a compromise with that thickness there. But that is all for now.